Good morning. This is Monday, the 11th of May, 2020. It's a cool morning, so I'm wearing a little light jacket. Was excellent for sleeping, however. We even had a fan going before we went to bed, and it was still blowing across us as got up this morning. I say as we got up. Ella hasn't yet, but that's not unusual. I like to get up and get moving. Now, I'm quite ready to go to bed when I'm tired, but when I'm awake, I prefer to get up. I did admittedly lay in bed after I woke up today, but it wasn't because I wasn't doing anything. It was because I was using that quiet time to work on a sermon idea. But eventually I just couldn't lay there anymore. I had to get up. I haven't started breakfast because I didn't want the noise of clanging utensils and things to bother my bride. So I'm sitting outside, partially in the warm sunshine. My legs and feet are feeling the heat of the sun. It is not, as I said, it's not warm out. It's in the mid 50s, I believe. But the sun across my legs is feeling nice and warm. There's just a very slight breeze going. And I'm sitting here just trying to think about what I'm going to accomplish today. These days of the COVID-19 pandemic and being isolated, I think this is day 57 or 58. 57, I believe, since we began being self-isolated. That's not to say that we don't get out once in a while. For one thing, we keep getting notices from our truck that the battery is getting low, and so we have to drive it. The little short drives that we normally take into town of 6 miles and back is not good for recharging the battery. It probably uses more energy starting it here, going up there into town, and stopping, and then starting it again to come back home. I'm sure it's not giving it enough time to charge properly. So every once in a while we take a longer drive. Yesterday, after our worship service, we had gotten a call from Adam to wish Ella Happy Mother's Day. And he said that he and the family were going to walk up to the county park, which is about 4 miles away from him, I guess. So after our worship service was over online, we went through the chicken places and got some food and headed toward the park. Thought maybe we'd be able to sit there with them. As we were getting closer, Ella called to find out just exactly where they were, and, well, they were home. They had already been to the park and back. They weren't going for anything other than the walk. They weren't intending to spend time at the park. So we ended up going to their place and sitting out on the patio with them using social distancing, and had a nice visit. After that, we took a long, circuitous drive home to make sure that our battery was getting as much charge as we could put into it. We had stopped for gas and to buy bread. Well, also I bought a half-gallon of ice cream, but don't tell anybody about that. So that was our day yesterday. Our truck is gassed up and fully charged, so we probably won't be moving it for another few days anyway. unless Ella has a prescription or something that she needs filled, or something else comes up. But as I said, for the most part, we have been home. And as the days go on, sometimes the protection seems more prison like. We're not exactly solitary confinement, but under house arrest. How's that sound? Um, so, trying to do things to keep busy. Um, we go for at least one walk a day, sometimes more. They're not long walks by any means, but we're still trying to figure out things to keep us busy. I have been working on uh, the topper for the truck, as you see it. Try and get it where you can see it better. Anyway, our truck back there. I've been working on that. Uh, if you've been following the blog, you know that I received the insulation, that real thin double bubble foil backed insulation, uh, and have cut insulation for our windows, specifically for the ones on the west side where the afternoon sun comes pouring through there. Now, it's been wonderful during the winter when it has been cold. We open all the shades and let that sunlight in, and the passive solar heats us up probably 30, 40 degrees above what it is outside at times. So, come as it's approaching summer, that afternoon sun is going to become really scorching when the heat is already high. So I've been trying to insulate that. At the same time, I decided I would do some insulating in the truck, in the topper. And since I've gotten some supplies recently shipped to us, we've got plenty of cardboard. I have a very large cardboard box down here that I am going to cut into panels and put it up on the wall of the truck, because you may not know it, but cardboard is a very poor transmitter of heat, which means, if you look at it the other way, it's an excellent insulator. So, since I've got a lot of cardboard, and this isn't really a high-tech project that I'm doing, I'm going to put many layers of cardboard on the interior walls of the trailer. And then when I've done that, then I will put a layer of the thin insulating material over that. I said it was foil covered. It's only foil on one side. It is a vinyl on the other side, a white vinyl, which actually looks quite nice. Well, it's very similar to the pull-down shade that I've got here, that type of vinyl. And so it has a nicer appearance to it, and will look nicer, at least until I decide to put actual board wall on the inside of the topper. At this point, I'm not sure that I'm going to do that. For one thing, finances. So that's really my only real plan for the day. I've already cut the insulation sheets for the windows, with the exception of the bedroom window on Ella's side of the bedroom. And since hers faces the morning sun, then it probably doesn't need the insulation quite as much. Anyway, I see my neighbors being kind of loud over here, and rather than intrude on their conversation, I'm going to stop.